Hi, this is team number 10 here. We're just discussing our spreadsheet along with how our meetings have been going and how our runs have been going. We just want to say thank you for giving us this extension. We're very grateful for that. And we apologize. We were a little confused at first, but now we've definitely got the hang of it. So at the beginning, our first run went a little bit rocky. We resulted in a lot of lost sales. Um, we didn't really understand that once your inventory was gone, you were going to lose sales immediately. But once we got the hang of that, our second run went a lot smoother. We were definitely letting our inventory get low, which resulted in us trying to delete production orders as they were already being processed, which again resulted in multiple lost sales. So we're just going to go over our different spreadsheets. We all kind of met earlier this week and we just talked about our spreadsheets and kind of combined ours to see what could give us the most net income, the highest EBT, and the lowest number of lost sales. So we'll start with our individual ones and then go to our team spreadsheet.
Okay, so for my spreadsheet for Taj Mahal, I reduced the production a little bit and made sure to stay near around 3,000 cases per month. This freed up fermentary capacity for other products. And for Alley Cat, I increased production early on in the year from January to April so that I could build up inventory for the summer peak. Then I reduced production orders like later on in the year so that it like minimized the lost sales in the summer months. And my EBT was 141,000.
Okay, so for my spreadsheet, I started really low with the Taj Mahal at 616, and then I kind of just increased, stayed around 3,500, and increased it a little bit each month. For December, my ending inventory was around 300, not 300, 3,000. For Alicat, I pretty much only changed the spring months, so April, May, beginning of summer, June, and then a little bit more into the summer in July and August, and I kept the winter months and fall months the same that it was. I did end up with the most lost sales. For Edgar L, I had no lost sales, and my ending EBT was 147,895.
Okay, so I wasn't able to share my spreadsheet with the group because I did mine on the school library computers and it wasn't able to save, nor was I able to turn it in because I accidentally thought it was due later than it was actually intended to be due. But I had all my products increased in Edgar because it was the least profitable and it was around the summer months because it does really well in the winter, and then vice versa for Alley Cat, and then Taj Mahal was just good. My EBT ended up being around 130. So majority of my losses ended up being in Edgar, and I had like a couple in Alley Cat in the summer because yeah, that's it.
Okay, and now I'm going to discuss our team spreadsheet. The reason I'm not discussing my personal one along with our team one is just because there was a lot of similarities between the two. I had the lowest amount of lost sales along with the highest EBT. So where I did have my lost sales, we were able to change some of my numbers by, comparing them to theirs, resulting in lower lost sales for theirs. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen really quick. you able to see it? Okay. Give me one moment. Okay. Are you able to see it now? Okay. Cool. No, I can't. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so here's what our team spreadsheet looks like. So because Taj Mahal is more of a consistent type of beer, we started out basically in the 2,000 to 4,000 range of production orders. We started 2,000 the first 2 months, moving up to 3,000, then dropping back to 2,500 to 2,800. Then once summer hit, we went up to the 4,000 and then kind of back down into the 3,800 range. This resulted in no lost sales, which was a great spot to be in. And then our gross profit for Taj Mahal ended in 312,699. And then for Alley Cat, we still had some lost sales, but not as many as we all kind of worked with. So we kind of just combined our different numbers, changing a lot of what we had to see what works and what didn't work. So these kind of ranged by a lot. We started pretty high at 7,000, slowly moving down. We stopped at 7,000 for production cost by May. Once we hit June, we went down to 6,500, still continuously going down. July and August to 5,000, and then going down to the lowest point of 3,000, just because it doesn't sell as well in those months. We did have some lost sales, but our gross profit was still pretty good at 332,924. Down at the bottom, our EBT ended up being 163,862, which was the best that we were able to get out of all the numbers that we changed. So we're definitely going to be able to use this spreadsheet in the future. Like I said at the beginning of our meeting, we definitely had some difficulties understanding how inventory worked, how our production orders should work. So this spreadsheet, really understanding what production to do for each one right here and all right here, is giving us a great idea of what to do for what is going to be our run number 3. So going into our run number 3, because we've already used 2 of them, we all gave each other roles that we felt most comfortable in. So for me personally, I felt the most comfortable in the production order role. So looking over the production orders, what to put in, how many to put in, referencing our team spreadsheet. So I think our plan of action for our next run is going to be starting out with 3 to 4 Alley Cat production orders, and then 2 of the other ones, the Edgar, 2 of those, and then 2 of the Taj Mahal. Because where we fell short in our last runs were we put 4 in thinking that we could only have 4 production orders. In reality, only 4 could be processed at one time, and that's where we fell short, having no inventory back there. So knowing that we can put multiple in at one time, so when those 4 are done producing, we'll have some right back in. So I will be in charge of the production orders.
I will be in charge and watching over the sales, so what beers are selling, what months they're selling, and how we should basically move forward with inventory based off the sales.
My role would be to look at the inventory graph to see if it's too high or too low, the seasonal changes and the capacity.
Mine is to check on past sales to make sure we're on track, and if we need to change anything, and just to help anywhere else that I may or may not be needed.
I think something else that we kind of fell short at is we kind of got too tunnel visioned into our roles last run. So if one of us were struggling, the other ones felt like we weren't able to help just because we were so focused on our role. So I think we're a lot more comfortable in every aspect of the simulation now, able to help one another. So if somebody does fall short or gets a little bit confused, then someone else is able to step in. So it's nice to have somebody that's able to overlook, like Rachel's going to be doing. So that'll be really nice. But yeah, that's our plan for our run number 3. Hoping to do better than we did last time, even though we did pretty well last time. So hopefully to keep it going. But yeah, that's it. Thank you.